Hi everyone, it's Connor here from Durham Hearing Specialists. I hope you're doing well and welcome to another video. I've been away for a while. I've been away for about a week and a half. I've not uploaded anything because I've been very busy. We've been looking at taking on another member of staff. We've been providing some clinical supervision to another audiologist who's getting into wax removal. And also I've spent a considerable amount of time modifying this microscope that you're visualizing through right now. And the reason is we're going to need this microscope very shortly to record some interesting videos around extended wear hearing aids. So these are hearing aids which are fitted under a microscope approximately 4 millimeters in front of the eardrum. And then they're left there. So the patient does not take it out and put it back in the morning or change the battery. It's just permanently on and it stays there deep in the ear canal. So it's not quite an implantable hearing aid, but it's very close, I would say. So it's known as an extended wear hearing aid, and made by a company called Phonak. So it is pretty much the closest you can get to, having normal hearing without having a hearing aid that you take on and off. And you have to fit those with a microscope. You need to have true depth perception. So you probably could do it with an endoscope, I would say, but it's not advisable. So over the past 2 weeks, I've been making various modifications to this microscope to try and improve the video that it can capture. So, and you may be thinking at this point, well, why didn't you just buy a microscope that can do all of that? Because, I want to record footage in 4K. This is in 4K. And ideally, I'd like to record it at 60 frames a second. So I've just switched back to an endoscope here. You can see the difference in quality is quite remarkable. But with an endoscope, obviously, we can sneak right inside and get close to the eardrum, which is an undeniable advantage. So you may be thinking, well, why didn't I buy a microscope that could do all of that? And if it was available, I would have. But it is, remarkably difficult to, buy something that's set up for 4K. It really is. So the microscope, this is a Kaps microscope. And they supply various different attachments so that you can put onto the microscope, but they don't offer any kind of camera that can go up to 4K. So the best that I was offered was 1080p at 24 frames a second, I think. So not really good enough, certainly not good enough for 2021. So I've been making various modifications to this microscope to allow for a high enough resolution and a good enough frame rate. And believe it or not, the frame rate is actually very, very important to the quality of the image, and the higher the frame rate, the better. So now this doesn't mean that I've ditched the endoscope. It's just that this is a project that's been taking up a considerable amount of time. And so, a few more of these experimental videos with the microscope will be dropping into the channel fairly soon. I hope you enjoy them. But we've also got some very, very interesting cases with the endoscope coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. We've got some very, very tough wax here, which is lodged in the ear canal, and I'm just trying to tease it out now that it's been oiled, and it will come eventually. I'm almost certain that there will be various people watching, maybe healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, audiologists, that are trained to use microscopes or surgical glasses, what we call loupes. So you're probably wondering why I'm not using a speculum, which is like a little funnel that you would put into the ear to keep the ear canal straight and you can suction away. And the reason I'm not using a speculum is because I think they're a bit of a faff. So if I can get good visualization of the debris that I want to remove, I very rarely use it. Here we go, here's the plug of wax right there. Fairly dark and oxidized. And we'll get a shot of the eardrum with the endoscope. So I'll go back in and capture that. So we'll switch back to the endoscope now. Ear canals looking a little red, eardrums looking a little inflamed, but not surprising given how large the plug was. So this is the patient's other ear now. So we've got kind of a medley here, a bit of a compilation, shall we say. And this will also need olive oil as well. But yes, I have speculums in the clinic, obviously, but if I can avoid using one, I avoid it because I think it just complicates everything. So a little bit more olive oil in here, And now we'll go in. The thing that I really like about this microscope is it just gives you perspective, I suppose. So when you go in with the endoscope, obviously you're very close to everything and it's a very zoomed in image. But I quite like seeing the entire canal and just sort of, it's much easier to get your bearings, I suppose. Very, very good if you need to use manual tools. So you can see exactly where you're putting the tool, you can slide it round. And obviously you can do that with the endoscope as well, but sometimes you lose a little bit of perspective as to, you know, where you are in the canal and how big things look. So I'm just kind of wiggling this wax around just to kind of unadhere it from the ear canal. And it should come out in one foul swoop here. There we go. So this plug isn't as large as the other one, but still a fairly significant blockage in the patient's ear. We're going to go back in with the endoscope and check it. And the eardrum looks absolutely fantastic. So there's the debris, good centimetre chunks there, or maybe sort of 3/4 of an inch if you kind of smush it all together. And I will give you a shot of the tank as well, which is, I've done before, but I don't do it that often. So there it is. That's from all those cases. So 2 ears and then the first ear at the beginning. That's the debris from, God, that's disgusting, isn't it? You know, do you like tank shots? I'm not sure I do, but there we go. Let me know if you want more tank shots in the comment section. So there we go. That was just, I just thought I'd update you on these experiments that I'm doing. We've got lots and lots of good cases coming our way. And we just hit 50,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for watching these videos, commenting, all the support you've been giving me. It's amazing. And I'll do a live stream at some point where I can talk to you guys and answer a few questions. So thank you very much for watching, liking and subscribing. If you have any questions about what you've seen, leave them down in the comment section below and I will try my very best to get back to you. And as always, I will see you on the next video.